Give me your impression of the challenge of playing at Utah and what you see from tape on both sides of the ball from the Utes.
So impressed. I mean, I am every year. You know, this game has come down to the last series, and last year the last play. We went into overtime and won on a field goal. So very impressed. The coach does a tremendous job. They're very disciplined. The desire and the heart that they play with and how hard they play. Obviously, it's a very difficult place to play. It'd be very loud, very challenging place. But heck, that's going on the road in Pac-12. That's the way it is. And so, but obviously, they're very deserving of their fourth ranking in the country, and they have. They play really. You can tell they really care about each other. You can tell they're a close-knit team, and man, they play with a lot of physicality, and so they've been very impressive.
Coach, your team is tied for first in sacks in the conference, and you lead in tackles for loss. Utah has given up just 2 sacks this season. That's an interesting dynamic. Can you talk about that going into this game?
Well, they've obviously done a really good job getting the ball out, and you know, he's a very difficult guy to sack, to get around. He's 6'7". He's very strong and eludes a lot of rush. So he's a guy you have to really do a good job of tackling when you get the opportunity to sack him. But yeah, they've done a good job. They're the best in the league, and as far as giving up sacks, they've given up the least amount. And they're going to run the football. Obviously, Booker's is in their offensive line is very well coached, very physical, and their tight ends do a good job blocking as well. And then also, they use the quarterback as well off the read zone stuff. So they're very sound there. We got to be, special teams is one of the big factors this week, and that's been a strength for us, and it's definitely a strength for them. And so I think that's special teams defense and taking care of the ball. The most important factor is going to be is the turnover ratio. Who wins that is very critical.
Coach, against Colorado, you really was able to go ahead and make that offense a one-dimensional offense, doing a great job in the run defense, doing a great job establishing the line of scrimmage with sacks, TFLs. But what are some of the issues you identified in the pass defense from last Saturday?
Well, one, not making critical errors. We had 3, pretty major critical errors. One was an alignment issue that we can get corrected. So the big thing is just not making mental errors or critical errors in assignment, and then just being sound vertically. Not taking undue chances on trying to bite on underneath stuff and things like that. So we just I think we kind of, it was in a game where you get 3 scores up, and I could tell, there's just you can't do that. I mean, because people can get back in the game. So just need to correct it. Most of the things are just correcting mistakes.
Coach, it seems like special teams as a whole has really stood out the last couple weeks. How would you assess that department's development since the first week?
Yeah, I think our guys have bought in and understand the importance of that. And our whole deal is about desire and effort, and it shows up big time on special teams plays. And I think Coach Slocum's done a great job of getting our guys to understand the importance of that. And it'll be very, very important this week, because that's an area we have to win. We have to win special teams.
Todd, what's DeMario's situation?
He's good. He'll be all right.
You expect him to play this week?
Yes, I do. Yeah, we got a good prognosis and going through treatment and stuff like that. But I expect him to practice tomorrow. So.
And Armand Perry, do you expect him to maybe get back on the field this week?
No.
You said Antonio Longino had a career-best game on Saturday. How big is it going to be to get production from that double backer spot on Saturday?
Well, it's going to be important for our whole forcing unit. Defensively is obviously the key. The team that can run the football is the one that'll have the advantage. And so they got a pretty good running attack, really good running attack. So, just each one of those guys, man, doing their job. That's what it's about every week. It's really not about one guy or another guy. It's just about 11 guys doing their job. And I thought Tony did. I thought he had, pretty incredible game. probably the best game he's had since he's been here.
Todd, after he scored his first ASU touchdown Saturday, just wondering if you could talk about Devin Lucien and the way he has been incorporated into the team. He talks a lot about how well he's been received transferring in.
Yeah, it was, obviously it's been a process, and he's done a good job for us, and he made a lot of good catches, and he continues to get better every week. It's very difficult to come into our program in that short a period of time and really be able to embrace everything that we're about, and he's done a great job with that, and he's been a great addition for us, and only getting better.
Hey Todd, a report surfaced that USC coach Steve Sarkisian was drunk during the ASU game. What did he seem like to you? I mean, obviously you talked to him before and after.
I don't really have any comments on that.
Anyone else?
I'm focused on Utah. Save that for the tabloids.
Talk about the vertical game. I mean, you got some explosive chunk plays with Mike going downfield to Tim White, and it just seemed like you took your shots more aggressively this time around.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things we've talked about is at this time of year, you're at the midway point. We got 6 ball games left to see where we're at after that, and got to play to win. That's one of the reasons why we were aggressive on 4th and 2 there, going for it, and we wanted to hit some shots over the top and get some shots down the field. So, that's always. That's the key. I think it's every big game you play in. You go back to the UCLA game was one that man, it's hard, man, to execute 13 plays down the field and score all the time. So you want to get you like hitting those explosives. So I like to see that, and that's something that we needed to get more of.
You mentioned Utah's rushing game. Just what kind of challenges does a running back like Devontae Booker create?
Well, I think that he's up there in the caliber with Paul Perkins. I mean, those two guys have got to be as good as there is in this league. And I mean, really strong runner. I mean, he's a power downhill runner. Makes a lot of his yards, straight ahead and cutting it back. And so the challenge is, like it is, every week, but more so with this week is I think their offensive line is really good. I think their offensive line is blocking really well, and that coupled with a great back like Booker is a big challenge. But on the same hand, I mean, that's one we have to rise up and meet.
Coach, your thoughts on Kyle Whittingham philosophically and the way that he likes to do things with his scheme and personnel?
I got a lot of respect for him. I mean, I think you look at what he gets out of his players and how hard his players play. That's the thing that I'm impressed the most of on tape is just watching how hard his players play on kickoff cover, how hard they play on defense, how hard they play on offense. Every year it's a dogfight because he does such a great job. I got a lot of respect for him. I think he's, you can tell the character and toughness and fundamentals. They're very well coached.
Just when you went back and watched the film, just what did you see? You mentioned this after the post game, but Antonio Longino, what did you see from him on film?
Man, he just, his effort was unbelievable. He ran some plays down from the backside. It really was probably more opportunity, but I think he really, he was just at a different level from where he had been. He'd been playing really good, and I thought he played great. I mean, and obviously it was the production, not staying blocked, coming off, attacking. And then taking the proper angles, his fundamentals were so much better, and it resulted in him having a lot more productivity.
Everybody good?